Hey everybody, it's Keri Johnson coming to you live for another bonus day in our cash attraction. And I want to talk about frequency. I want to talk about aligning to your desires. And I want to talk about how important your belief system is. And more things that go along with manifesting and attracting your clients and how to accelerate the client's cash and courage to go after them. The first thing that I wanted to start with is some new affirmations that I came up with this morning. I love affirmations, obviously that I can get my mind around, ones that seem true to me. And then also I have been doing and saying things ever since I was younger on how I wanted to become. When I was younger, I was very awkward looking, and I was, people around me weren't afraid to tell me that. I was the little redheaded kid with, I just went through some very awkward stages, and I knew it. When I went in high school, I knew that the only thing that I had was my smile and my personality. Because I had acne, my mother cut my hair short, I just was not feeling on the outside who I was on the inside. And I knew that I had my smile, no one could take that away from me, and I had my personality and my sense of humor. So I used those, I amplified those and became magnetic from the inside out. So I've had a lot of training, almost like wearing a mask, and really amplifying my power from the inside out. And I've seen the changes. I've seen physical changes because I don't look anything like I did when I got married. I mean, how we can use this information to heal our bodies, to change our looks, to feel better on the inside and the outside, and really project from the inside onto our screen of space exactly what we want. And the universe and God always gives you more. It 10x's it for you. So the amplification process is already really done with this science and with the laws. That's what I have found. You ask for $1,000, and sometimes you'll get just that, exactly that, or you'll get doubled. So I always go on the basis of asking for things, this or something better. Always this or something better. This is what I can see, right now, what I would like, but I can only see so much out of my eyes. I can only imagine so much because our brains are so limited. This or something better. And it will always be something better. Your desire will come in. Your desire will come in if you are amplifying it with your feelings and your emotions. You may see it to be a certain way, but if we want the feeling of it. First and foremost, we want all those clients, we want all the money, we want the new this, we want the relationship, we want these things because it's going to give us a certain feeling. So remember, we know this is like basic, but if you're new to this information, we want things because we think it's going to give us a certain feeling. After you have that thing, you know that feeling, if it's not cleared, is going to come back. You'll get excited, but it'll be a short-lived excitement, once the desire comes in. So I could think that I want this particular home or this particular person or this particular thing because, of course, I'm limited in my thinking. And I could describe it as much as I want to, and I could script it out as much as I want to. I'm amplifying it because this thing is going to give me this feeling. So therefore, I go with my feeling of it. I'm really going to get into my feelings and amplify the feeling of it. So when it comes in, it may not look anything like I wrote down. It may not look anything like it. But I can guarantee you it will feel exactly like it. It will give you that feeling that you felt when you were creating the desire in the first place. That's how we let go of the how. That's how we let go of having to finalize the conclusion of the desire on our time, because we're gonna get it. It may look a little bit different. The house may not be on a lake. It may be on the ocean. Either way, you're going to get the feeling of the original desire. Does that make sense? Have you guys experienced that at all? That's a really, really important part when it comes to manifesting. And I've got a funny story for you. As I was going through some of my affirmations, I was writing some new ones down. My other affirmation that I would continuously say is, I get better looking as I get older. I get more youthful looking as I get older. I'm in better shape as I get older. My body's in perfect health and in great shape and lean. Like the older I get, the better I get, the more goddess-like I get, that my energy is felt in such a positive way. That's what I used to say. And then that put me here, but I just created a new one because I was at the grocery store last week. And I was at the grocery store and I got my hair done, and I don't know if any of you have seen it. I don't straighten it very often. But she blew it out straight for me. It was 9 o'clock at night. Of course, I was going to go home and, sleep on it. I was going out of town the next day. So I ran to the store and I got a couple bottles of wine. And as I'm taking them out of the cart, my back's to the cashier, the 17-year-old kid, taking them out of the cart. And he's like, okay, I'm going to need you to see your ID. Now, we know that certain places like Walgreens, I think the ID, anybody under 90 or whatever, certain places, certain people can't tell your age, and other places just ID everybody. So when I'm with my friends or when I'm with my kids, I just kind of make fun of it, just because I'm like, oh, they think I'm, 20? Yeah, okay. I just play with it. And I turn around and he goes, he's like, oh no, hey Janet. He goes, oh no, never mind. I go, what? I go, never mind. I'm like, you're taking that away from me? You want to carve me? But then the minute I turn around, he goes, you looked younger from the back. And I'm like, I know my hair looked pretty good, but because it was professionally blown out, and I'm just like, what do I look like? I'm just like, oh my God. He's like, no. I don't need to see your ID. He just kept making it worse. Shanila, hi. And I was laughing at it because of course he was 17 years old, but I've never had it taken from me. I've never had someone ask me and then when they see me, take it from me. So I have a new affirmation. Let's see, where did I put it here? First of all, the first one I wrote down, I'm open and receptive to all the goodness and abundance that God and the universe has to offer me, because we have to be open. I know, right, Jen? Good morning, Rula. I was laughing. He's like, that's not rude, is it? I'm just like, no, not at all. I'm like, you can't take it away from me though. Let's see. Oh, I am youthful and timeless at any age. I'm youthful and timeless at every age. And speaking these things into existence works, whether it is in a physical way, whether it is wanting to find a gym or a fitness or an exercise, because I used to hate working out. I used to hate it, but I also wanted the body that was on the cover of the magazines. And I was divinely guided to kickboxing, which I ended up falling in love with. It was a different kind of exercise for me. It wasn't just jumping around or running on a treadmill or something like that. I don't like, hey Tracy, I don't like a lot of that stuff. I don't like running. I'm not a runner, but I was divinely guided to kickboxing when I was going through my divorce. And it did two things for me. It got me into shape, and I was able to expend my energy out into the bags and kicking and punching, because it was a very, very, very crazy time for me when I was going through my divorce. But that's my story about being carded and not carded by the 17-year-old boy at the grocery store. It was just so funny. It just was just very bizarre. But I'm youthful and timeless at any age. Yes. Yep. And I keep getting better and better. And I keep, we can keep creating ourselves. We don't have to. We age gracefully. Okay. What does that mean? Having to just be full of wrinkles and look like everybody else? No, it doesn't. We don't have to do that. Aging gracefully because we're choosing how we want to look. We're choosing how we want to feel, not because when you hit 50 or 60 or 70 or 80, this is what happens to you. And I had a friend / client say to me, because her back keeps going out on her, and I've had back issues too, but she was like, well, Keri, when we get to be 50 or whatever, she said 40 or 50, she's giving me all these technical terms of what happens to our bodies and our back. And I'm like, only if you think so. Only if you believe so. We don't have to, when you go to the doctor and they ask you, what kind of history is in your family? I'm like, none. I'm me. I recreate my cells how I want to. I'm kind of a pain so I try not to go to the doctor. But when I do, don't compare me to my mother or my father, the history in my family. I don't even want to speak about that because it's not me. I'm not going to claim it. I'm claiming what's true for me, what's true for my body, because we regenerate our cells. And if you think you're going to get something because people in your family did, our thoughts create. Our thoughts create. And if you believe it, it's a double whammy on the negative side of things, because everything is energy. Everything is energy. And when you learn how to manipulate energy in a good way, play with it, create in it, it's not just the big manifestation that we're waiting for to come. And so it's not sitting in this moment being upset or being discouraged because things aren't coming fast enough. The point of it is to sit in this day, in this moment, enjoying the power that you have as the creator, as the co-creator, the power that you have to plant the seeds and watch them, enjoy watering them, to get pregnant and enjoy the 9 months that the baby's in your tummy. You know, we don't expect it to come out any sooner than that. It's not safe for it to come out any sooner than that. We enjoy the process. You get the room ready, you get the clothes ready, you have the little parties and the gifts and things like that. All the preparation from the first time that you're pregnant into the time that the manifestation of the baby actually comes out. The enjoyment process. So those are things that have helped me when it comes to, if I ever fall back, like, where is this thing, you know? Okay, and then half the time I'm like, well, whatever, forget about that thing. We got to forget about it and throw it, speak it, claim it, know it to be. Like, expect it. Amplified expectation of it, because you're powerful, you're a co-creator, you name it and claim it and it comes in. This or something better, this or something better. So, and then let it go, let it breathe, let it breathe. And when we're not creating, we're always creating, but when we're done, in my family, when we're done creating the big things and we're letting it go, then we play with the energy of the small things. And many of you have heard the story about my 15-year-old client. I gave her an experiment to do, and she was going to ask the universe to deliver something to her within 48 hours. And it was really cute. Her answers are really cute because she's 15, you know, so they're different than what an adult would normally tell me. And she's like, okay, well, let's see. I'll be in school, so I'm gonna have somebody hand me something purple. And I'm like, perfect, I love that. Okay, someone's gonna hand you something purple in 48 hours. So I forgot about it, of course. A couple days later, I call her mom and I'm like, what did she ever get? And then she said, oh, someone handed her a purple gummy bear. The little girl said, I'm like, that's awesome. I didn't even know that they made gummy bears that were purple. You know, we're all about gummies in my family. I've never even heard of a purple gummy bear before. So the little girl thought it would be so much cooler than it was. I don't know what she was expecting, but we weren't specific when we were scripting it out. She said someone was gonna hand her something purple and she got a purple gummy bear. So well done. Like, that's how it's done, well done. So when I finally had my next session with her, I was talking to her. The deeper part of this manifestation that she had was that this purple gummy bear came from someone that does not share. She doesn't share her food. And she's like, and she's at the vending machine and she's like, it's my money, my food. It's my money, my chips, my money, my, you know, and like blatantly doesn't share. So for her to have been the giver of the gift that was lining up with my client's request, it's like our souls are speaking. You know, when we are creating something, you know, we're magnetizing ourselves. The universe has got to line up a cooperative component. It's got to line it up for you. So the girl that doesn't share was the one that was lined up with her, and I'm like, what a beautiful thing. Like, what? I mean, it blew my mind. I was looking at it a little bit more deep than my client was, but I was like, that's what I've noticed when we're magnetizing things and we're naming them and claiming them, whether we're doing something big or something small. We only put the big or small on it. You know, it's all really the same energy. If we think it's bigger, it's going to be bigger. If you think of everything, if you think of your 10 clients or your 20K month as a purple gummy bear and just as easy as that, then it will come in easy like that, you know? But what I've noticed is that when I'm using my magnetizing techniques and calling in something, not knowing what it's going to be, just something magical, that the person that's delivering it to me doesn't really know what they're doing. Their eyes are almost glazed over. I've noticed this several times. You know, they get up, they do something, and they don't even really know what they're doing. It's like you're calling someone's soul. You're awakening something within them to put the thought in their mind. You know, you're lining up to the frequencies. The universe is going to find the least path of resistance and line you up, find someone to line you up with the frequency that you're exuding out. So it happens and this is how I call things in. It's not just strategic. I do have strategies, but mine's more this work. It's more calling things in. Why do I want it? What do I want? Who do I want to work with? You know, what do I want to teach? What results do I want? What results do I want for them? Is the basis. Then it gets energized. And I need to make sure that my belief system is on point. Do you believe you can have the things that you want? Do you believe that there are people out there paying for your programs? Do you believe that these clients will come to you with ease? Do you believe that it's easy? Do you believe that it's hard? Yes, I'm calling in awakened souls. Absolutely. I think that they would understand, they would line up with us better, Yeah, awakened souls, especially the new ones that are waking up. And there are different levels with everything, but it's the whole belief system. And I was talking to somebody yesterday too, and this came up, I was like, okay, they were talking about debt. Someone was talking about disease. Someone was talking about debt. And I never like looking at that end. I don't like to talk about the debt. I don't like to talk about the disease. I don't like to focus on those things. So I was thinking about, there's it was almost like A-B debt. There's something happens. The experience that you experience creates the belief system that equals the debt, that keeps the debt alive, that keeps the disease alive, or that causes the disease. So it's not the debt, it's not the disease, it's not the sickness, it's not the pain, it's the A and the B. That was just the effect of it. We cause the effects. We cause the effects. So we clear up the A, recognize, okay, what was the experience that's causing these beliefs? Fix A, fix B, and the disease and the debt fix itself. But if we focus on the last part of it, focus on the debt, and we're not going to understand why we keep creating it, it will keep creating. We'll be in that same loop. You won't ever get out of that loop. And fix the A and the B, understanding the experience, understanding the beliefs, changing the belief system to what you want, to actually getting behind it, then the diseases don't have to come. They don't even have to manifest. The debt doesn't have to manifest. The diseases don't have to manifest. I want to focus on this part over here, the good stuff, where many people are focusing on the things that they don't want, the things that are bothering them, the things that keep coming up. And if you keep focusing on that, where our focus is, it grows. That's what we're watering. We can water the plants, the roses, or the weeds, depending on where you're looking, depending on what you're focusing. So that's huge, if you can stop focusing on that, and switching it, having a tool to switch yourself out of that. But like I talked about in day one too, it's people, I think, this is my opinion, my experiences on blocks, you can try to figure out all your blocks and unblock yourself till the cows come home, and still have issues with money or debt, because it may not be all these blocks. It may not be all these blocks. It may be energy leaks. It may be beliefs. It may be experiences. It may be things you're keeping alive just because you want to try to figure it all out. And we don't have to figure it all out. We don't have to figure it all out. We can make a choice to cut the cord on whatever's stopping us, to change the events, choose something different. For me, it's been as easy as just making choices instead of wondering what's wrong with me. Not to question your worthiness. Just choose it. You're worthy to have whatever you want. You're worthy to do whatever you want. If someone else is, then why not you? Why not you? So the energetic strategies are so important for me in my life. I mean, this is, the science, the ancient wisdom mixed with the modern science, mixed with the experiences, and not to claim one to be good or one to be bad. Everything's neutral until we put a claim on it. And I was talking to my brother the other day, and he was saying, well, that would be embarrassing. And I'm like, only if you call it embarrassing. You like tripping or something like that. I mean, I trip all the time. There are those sidewalks. I think there's at the one of our outdoor malls too. There's a sidewalk that I trip over that every single time. I'm gonna have to remember where it's at, so I can step over it. But you can claim it embarrassing or not, or claim it just neutral. If it's not embarrassing for me, then it shouldn't be embarrassing for anybody else. And he was challenging me with that. And I'm like, it's okay. If it's gonna be embarrassing for you, that's fine. I'm choosing for something like that not to be embarrassing for me, understanding that we name it and claim it. We charge it with an emotion. We charge it with an emotion. And, and we've been conditioned for so long. That's what society does. But again, if I choose differently, it's my choice, right? Even if I get embarrassed a little bit, then I'm like, oh, well, I don't have to be embarrassed about that. So I don't know. Claim it neutral, yes. I don't know. Like I play in my own world sometimes, but it's worked for me for all these years. It's worked for me. So believing that you can get it, believing in yourself, that you have, that you're value, that you are valued, that you're worthy, that you have gifts, that you have valuable products that people will pay for. People will pay you for them. You know, that's a whole nother, if you don't have those beliefs, then it's going to be challenging to get the clients, to get the cash, to get the confidence, to get the things that you want. So it's the foundation of that belief system, strengthening that muscle of, I am worthy. You know, I am loved. I love myself. The universe loves me. God loves me. I love the universe. I love God. I love life. Life is so fun. Life can be so, so fun. How do I want today to unfold? Do I want someone to hand me a purple gummy bear? I think I might. I think I might want a purple gummy bear. I play these games with my kids all the time, and they get to see what we can create. They get to see firsthand in a very short period of time, you know, for someone to bring something in for us, or say something, or if they can't find something, you know, to make it appear, things like that. So we use this in our everyday lives. Sometimes just for fun, and sometimes like just, you know, for serious stuff, like to calm the kids down because the Wi-Fi's not working or the TV's not working, you know. We have to calm the kids down and then just magically make the Wi-Fi work or the TV work or electronics work. That's another power of mine, and you guys can do it too. Jen, I was just telling my son I need to have more fun. I think most of us do. I think we've lost that. And that's why, you know, looking at kids, going to a playground even sometime and just watching the kids play and pretend, and everything's fun to them. Everything's funny. They want to show off. Mom, look, look what I can do. Look what I can do, you know, hanging from the monkey bars. Everything is just so fun because that's all they know. No one's told them anything yet. So that's another way to accelerate things, is by finding something to have fun. You know, knowing what you can do that will give you a number 10 experience. How can you find more bliss in your life right now? You know, it's not just about paying bills and working and trying to figure things out on our own. And it's just not. It's not. Having more fun, finding bliss, experiencing life in a different way, a different perspective, a more fun perspective. Another thing that I was talking to some clients about are energy leaks. So we moved the blocks aside and we were focusing on some of her energy leaks. And I've heard this from several times from several clients too, is they're not turning in timesheets for some reason. Like there's a block of turning in a timesheet. There's a block of turning in a rebate. There is a block of making the phone call to an insurance company or another company that you potentially have money coming from. All this money is out there. There's more money out there. So nobody should ever be asking, you know, how come I don't have enough money? They're focusing on the debt, but I can guarantee you there are times in your life when, I can't guarantee you this, but there have been times in my life where I'm just like, oh, I'm going to be on the phone for an hour with this company, and we put it off. All of a sudden, you finally make the phone call and you find out that there's a $10,000 check or $20,000 check waiting for you. It's been waiting for you. So there's all this invisible money out there. So yes, money comes from clients. All money comes from and through God and the universe through clients, but it comes through so many different avenues if we're open to them. And not only, well, I don't have any clients this month, therefore I'm not going to make my goal. Not true. That doesn't have to be true. One of my clients walked to the mailbox and had a $4,000 unexpected check in there. After listening to one of my money talks, of course, but so it was magically magnified, energized. There's free money all the time. We just have to look for it. We have to receive it. We have to expect it. We have to expect that good things are coming to us. Good things are meant for us. Bigger and bigger, more and more, without feeling guilty, without feeling greedy, without feeling like we're going against any sort of faith, parents, religion, society. We've got to lose all that, because there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. We're supposed to be happy. I've been learning how to get better at adulting. Well, I wouldn't say we have to get better at adulting. We just have to get better at being playful, having more playtime. I mean, my daughter, my older daughter, she thinks that she was my, and if she was here, she'd be like, no, Mom, I know this. I always say she thinks that she was my mother in a past life. She knows it, she would say to you. She knows and she looks at me like, you know, her glasses down, like looking at me with some of the things that I do or say, but I'm like, I've become so much more myself. And now both my kids are out of the house, 24 and 19. And I've finally been able to, not finally, but, you know, learning, you know, being able to be more playful, being able to be funny, being able to not care if I trip, things like that, like owning my greatness, and then celebrating others, celebrating your all's greatness. I can't wait to do that. There is okay, so we talk about the law of attraction, right? The secret law of attraction. The law of vibration comes before the law of attraction, because whatever we're vibrating, we're attracting. We're calling in that same vibration, that same frequency. Our voice is so powerful. So if you want some power, speak your words into existence. Speak kind words, speak good words to yourself and to others and out into the universe. There's a frequency, a tone of your voice and frequencies behind words that when they're matched up, they will instantaneously meet your desire and then start the process, start the synchronicities, the bridge of incidences that they talk about, lining things up for you. So that's science. That's been scientifically proven. And one thing that I was talking about, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, I did a video on it, the Grabavoy numbers. Have you guys heard of the Grabavoy numbers? Dr. Grabavoy had this machine, and that he could measure frequencies of numbers. And it's the same thing what he did with numbers, but I was talking about doing it with words too. There's a frequency behind each number. So he put together sets of numbers and even spaces in between them, and spoken out loud, amplified to the universe, telling the universe that you're open to receive an abundance of money, an abundance of health, whatever it is. There are hundreds of them, different combinations that he did. You know, some of them the frequency would match the frequency of a heart. Some would match the frequency to a liver or a lung or whatever. He used it as a healing machine. You know, once he figured out these numbers, he would then chant the numbers into the liver, into the whatever the part of the person that needed to be healed. And I did a video on the abundance number, and one of my clients had a $25,000 win within, I think, a few days of saying it. And another one had a $5,000 win. Hers was cash. His was, I think, a free coaching program or something like that. It wasn't cash, but it was value. It was value. We forget to count our wins, to count our money wins, to count our valued wins. But if you're not tracking where you're going, if you're not tracking what you're doing, then every month could potentially look the same, when each month could be getting better and better and better. You just might be spending differently. So tracking your value, $5,000 coaching program, it's like cash. You know, when someone buys you something, that's like cash, money in your pocket. So I really love the app, Lucky Bitch. It's for iPhones, I think, but I don't like the name of it. But every month you can set a goal for yourself. And then anytime something comes in, then you can track it. And it gives like a little cha-ching, like as a cash register. And then at the end of the month, like it tells you how far away you are from your goal. Like it adds everything up for you. It's just a great way to then go back and see, okay, where was I January, February, March? Instead of just going month to month or week to week, or, you know, only having to make a certain amount just to cover the bills. I mean, it sets you up for a year. Like you can, the habit of creating, the habit of tracking, the habit of, you know, consistency. So every month you're not stressed about, now what am I going to do? Consistency, waking up every morning and knowing your tools, knowing your energetic tools and knowing your online strategic tools to become magnetic, to attract people to you, to your page. That's what my Leads on Hyperspeed is all about. It's a 6-week program. it gives you 30 days of prompts, like for 30 days, for one whole month, and then you can repeat it the next month. You're going to know what to do. You're going to know what to say and what to post. And you don't have to play around other groups. There's no cold messaging. It's a very feminine way of organic lead generation that I have found. It's very feminine. It doesn't take much time. It allows people to come to you. They're attracted to you by the messaging, and they trust you immediately. And I show you how to gather them, an abundance of leads every single day, how to nurture them, how to get them on calls, and then how to close them into your program or whatever you have to sell. That's great for coaches, content creators. I'm working with a photographer and network marketers too. So it really works for everybody. And I help you. So I'm there with you. We meet once a week in a Zoom and go over everything. And we remove the emotion out of what's working and what's not working. And we make it work. We make it work instead of being afraid to post something. And then if nothing happens or you don't get any likes on it or anything, being afraid and taking it down and then calling it a failure. It's not a failure. It's not a failure. It's just feedback. So, thank you, Rula. Thank you. Attracting with ease. Yeah, Rula did great. She did one post and got 18 leads in one day, and then sent out her calendar link, and eight immediately jumped on calls with her within 24, or booked calls with her within 24 hours. So, and then she got a couple into her programs too. So it was, it's, after being online for 5 years, it's the easiest way of attracting. It's been the missing key in my business online too. It's made everything work so much smoother. I don't have to wonder. All I have to wonder is, okay, what else, what new programs or master classes? And then there's also a section of pop-up method, doing a pop-up group just like this, posts that sell, stories that sell, and you're doing it all from your page, your personal page, and you're not promoting business on your personal page. Everything's kind of behind the scenes. It's really, it's an interesting program. So with that program, I have a special, the Manifesting Vision, the 2022 Vision. That's your manifesting blueprint, where you get clear on your vision. We do a lot. We do the whole foundation. We create what you want for the year, and then we energize it and do the visualizations and clean out the clutter of what's holding you back. Fix your energy leaks if you have them. If you've got blocks or challenges, then we talk about those. What's working and what's not working. So for once and for all, you can stop looking at the debt. You can stop looking at the disease. You can stop looking at that stuff and not even create it anymore, not even create it. And that the debt causes shame and embarrassment for many people. But you have to understand that the debt or the credit cards have allowed you to purchase things. They've helped you. There's someone on the other side of that that's trusted you with free money. Not really free money, but in advance of money, for a small percentage that you pay them back. Wealthy people leverage things all the time. Millionaires, multimillionaires leverage things all the time. Some pay cash, but then sometimes cash is king for them. They keep the cash and then they use the credit. They use their credit and pay it back and then use it again. So I don't know. I just heard a lot of people having such angst over the debt. But once you're creating your overflow, once you're creating your leads and your clients, what your business needs, it needs to generate that to generate more money, then the debt goes away. Then you can manage the debt because the money just takes care of it. So if we can continue to look at what's possible, what you want to create, and know without a shadow of a doubt that more creation of that, more belief around it, knowing it's going to come in, will automatically take care of the stuff that you don't want. But focusing in the right direction. I spoke about this too, being specific. And this is one of the reasons why when you're calling in money, when some people say, I just need more money, that doesn't work. It does work, but you could find a dime outside or a dollar, and then that's not really what I meant, right? So be specific to a point of how much money you want and what you want to do with it, and how it would make you feel. Not just I want more money, I want $1 million. Did you guys see that commercial? I want $1 million, and there's like a million deer buck in her living room. So be specific to a point. If you can get your mind around it, your mind and emotions around it. too many times we allow our five senses to rule our emotions, to rule our world. And we can't. If we're creating from a different realm, we're creating in our imagination, we're creating things that our five senses will say no to. Our five senses will give us evidence of it not being true. It's not ever happened. It probably won't happen. And then your belief system comes in, and then stories from the past, and it's just a downward spiral. So when you're creating, it's so important to go into your imagination and use your higher senses. Different perspective, your imagination, your will, your understanding, your trust, your memory, your intuition. Those are the senses that are possible. Those are the senses that we can tap into at any time. So anytime you're feeling any angst around anything, get out of your five senses. Get out of your five senses and know that anything that's been created, today's old news, like we already created today. And if you're wondering, where your belief system lies, then look around your life to see, how does it look? What needs to be changed? Where are the challenges at? Because we have a projector inside of us to a point, and we're projecting on the screen of space. We're projecting out to the world what we're feeling on the inside, what we believe on the inside, what we believe about ourselves, what we feel about ourselves, what we believe about the things that we can have. So the beliefs and the feelings are coming from the inside, and we're projecting them out. So if we're projecting, like the orange story that I told the other day too, when you squeeze an orange, what's going to come out of it? Lemon juice? Nothing else, nothing other than orange juice can come out of it. So nothing else can come out of us. We can't create something else from the inside if we don't believe it. When life squeezes us, what comes out of us? So remember that. That's an indication that it's a perfect time then to go inside. Okay, well, I didn't like that. I need to fix it in the inside. Self-identity is huge. Your vision, clarity, your clear vision, your definite purpose, and your identity about yourself. Huge, 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 huge. And your belief systems, for success. And more work can be done in the realm of the imagination than hours and hours and hours trying to figure it out or working against the clock. You'll make more money managing your own vibration, managing your emotions by 5 minutes of quiet time. And then that's when you're led. That's what we're going to be doing in the Vision program. If that's going to be a bonus, the Manifesting Vision program is a bonus to the Leads on Hyperspeed. So that's just included with that program. Leads on Hyperspeed is $2,555 right now. I also have a payment plan for that. And if you don't want to do that program, if you just want to go deep with us and do the Vision Blueprint, the Manifesting Blueprint for the year, that one's $888. And I said that price was going to change on Saturday, but then I'm like, in the chaos of New Year's Eve, and I'm like, why did I do that? So that's early bird pricing. That program starts on January 11th, and I have a payment plan on that too, which is $222 a week for 5 weeks. And that's deep manifesting work. I take you to places where things will shift immediately. You will see manifesting and prosperity wins. I can guarantee that. We're going to be counting the demonstrations. We're going to be creating things. Like it's an energetic creation process, and it's a prosperity program. So if you don't want to do the leads, if you don't need that right now, then this one would be perfect if you want to go deeper in your manifesting and calling things in with ease, calling things in with a flow-based sense to your life. If then you decide you might want to do the leads program, then that price, whatever you put towards that, will go into that program. I'll take that off of that, the Leads on Hyperspeed. So you don't have to make a decision right now if you only want the manifesting program. So let me know if you guys have any questions about that. I think I still have a couple calls booked with several of you. I want to see what else. Tracy, someone claimed they ate a toxic. Oh, I heard that story. Yeah, I heard that story. Yep, exactly. Yep. So if you're in the right frame of mind, like nothing can touch you almost. And someone else that's going to be in the wrong mindset or complaining or vibrating lower, then the raw oyster will find them and not you. Yep. When does the 888 pre-sale expire? Friday. Friday night. So if you haven't had a chance, take a look at some of the videos of my past clients. Those are really interesting. I really enjoyed doing those interviews with them because I'm with them, working with them, but I can't get in their brain. I can't get into really how they feel about things and how things affect them. So it's interesting, as a student, as a client, to watch that. You get different perspectives on what others have manifested and really what it did for them. It did for their lives and everything. Just the transformation, the self-discovery journeys have been really powerful and empowering. And I was even blown away listening to some of them, and I was there working with them. So it was really interesting. But I've got to jump off here because I've got a 3 o'clock call. If you still need to book your call with me, then I'll drop the link in this feed, and then I'll also send the course links to you guys, or I'll post those in here. If you have any questions about when things start or pricing or anything like that, or payment plan, if you need something different, then let me know. I really, I'm here to support you and hope that you take advantage of some of these things, because I really want to see you guys just soar and fly, and just, I want to be there to celebrate with you, and I want to do everything I can to share my gifts and to lead you and to support you. Anything that I know is yours. My information is yours, and I'm there. I'm extremely results driven, for me, for you, for everybody, because, why not? That's what I want. I want to see such success from you guys too, and changing the story. I want to hear new stories. I don't want to hear about the debt or anything in the past that's been bothering you. So I love you guys. Thank you very much for showing up, and I will talk to you later. Bye.